Hello everyone, this is Juanita Cato representing OMNIS Creative Arts, and I have Miss Shannon Johnson with me today, and she's representing
Rafi Institute.
Shannon is a licensed aromatherapist and she has decided to share her knowledge with us today. So happy for her to bring her products, and she's going to give us some quick, simple tips on creating a very relaxing space so that you can have your personal, emotional, and sometimes physical healing can come from the aromatherapy as well. There are 3 recommended tests that I ask everyone to get completed before you start aromatherapy, because if there are any medical diagnoses you may not have been given yet, we need to make sure your blood, those organs like the kidney, liver, these things can actually be subjected to the different scents and the essential oils from the aromatherapy sessions. Okay, the first I would recommend is an allergy test, your blood test, and a stool analysis is really great if you are having pains or issues and you're using the aromatherapy as treatment, but you have not been diagnosed with an actual condition yet. So we want to make sure you speak to a medical doctor. Not asking you to go out and get any type of medication, but it would be great for you to have an actual diagnosis so you can have a starting point of how to heal and treat yourself. So with that being said, that's my disclaimer. Always seek licensed medical help when it comes to your health first before you try any natural or alternative remedies. Okay, Shannon, so what would you like to start with today? How did you get into aromatherapy?
Well, a while ago, my son is 14 now, but when he was born, I started looking into some natural alternatives just for him, as far as skincare for him and different ailments that he would have. That's when I kind of started looking into it, but when I really dived in was when I had just some different emotional and mental challenges, and medication was recommended. But I could not function with the medication, so that's when I really went a little deeper and actually took a course in aromatherapy to learn more how I could heal naturally using essential oils. So that's where I got started.
That's great. So I love that she said she took the initiative, she went out and did the research for herself, and she became licensed. She didn't just go out and read anything from the internet. She opened up books like from credentialed people to help her really understand how to create these potions, which I say potions, that you will see the recipes really that she's using to treat herself and her family.
Absolutely.
So where would you like to get started? What's one condition with your son? You said you had skin issues first.
Yes, wonderful. Like for children, lavender and chamomile and even rose are 3 of the best essential oils when dealing with children, but specifically lavender and chamomile. And even before dealing with oils, a lot of times you can use the herb versions of that. So the lavender, the chamomile, you have those sachets like the organza bags, and you can put the lavender and the, you can put those in those organza bags and drop them in your tub. So when you're bathing newborns, you can definitely use the herb form of the essential oils for people with sensitive skin or newborns.
And I'm just showing you what that looks like if you have the herbs.
Yes, absolutely.
And because this is a cooking show, my brother-in-law already put my pot away.
Okay.
I wanted to show them some quick tips. Now, Shannon talked to you about making the aromatherapy, which aroma, you're inhaling, not, sniffing up or anything, but you're making like a good steam bath almost. Shannon does have some equipment here, but I want to show you one quick simple thing. If you have just a regular pot you're going to place on your stove, how much of this would you recommend, Shannon, if someone is creating like the aromatherapy to go throughout the home?
I would represent a couple of tablespoons actually. So that would be good.
So just a few tablespoons that you're dropping into your pot. But how much water? If I'm making just a small pot, am I filling this pot? Does it dilute the...
Yes, you can. You don't necessarily have to fill it up. Really, it's really good to not fill it up, just to cover the herb just a little.
Just to cover them.
And then have it boil, and then really turn it off so that it can just simmer throughout the house in that regard.
Okay, that's great. So I'm just going to put this on a low fire on my stove and just let it simmer. Okay. Now, I know you have some great essential oils.
Yes.
Shannon introduced me to a wonderful company called doTERRA. Can you tell us a little bit more about the high quality products that you personally use?
Yes, I use doTERRA essential oils. I love the oils because you can use them 3 different ways. You can dilute them in the air. You could place them on your skin. But this is the thing, with proper knowledge and information, they can actually be ingested. Certain oils can be ingested. What I appreciate about the doTERRA brand is when you look at the essential oil label here, it says supplement facts, dilute 1 drop in 4 fluid ounces of liquid. So it lets you know. Now if you have an oil like, say, Citrus Bliss, this is more for aromatic use or to be used on your skin. But when you look at the label here, you see that it says that. So that's what I really appreciate about this brand, is that you can ingest them, but it kind of lets you know. A lot of the other brands, it says not for internal use. Right. So you think about it, if you can't ingest it, do you want to put it on your skin? So it just depends, just your knowledge level. You want to be very knowledgeable when you're dealing with essential oils. The other thing that I really appreciated about the oils is really how they find the oils. So they don't just go to the U.S. and have a farm and say, oh, let's use these oils. They research, where are these oils grown naturally, and that's where we get the oils from. And to take it a step further, like we have a vetiver is one of my favorite oils. It's very, very good when you're just really stressed out and overwhelmed. Vetiver is a very grounding, it's like the earth. It's that kind of oil. And we couldn't really find a vetiver that we were we could really appreciate. So we went to Haiti and found vetiver, and we actually hired people in the community and taught them how to distill the vetiver. So that's kind of an example, like a holistic approach to the company. And so yes, the main things that I wanted to talk about today, there were 2 main points. First of all, I want people to use essential oils every day, not just for preventive care when something's wrong. But for example, when you wake up in the morning, it's very good to have citrus oils like lemon. So you have warm water, and then you may drop a couple drops of lemon essential oil like this. So yes, definitely. So
let me bring your attention. I'm going to bring this down, Shannon. They won't see us, but they'll see like our little oil burners that we have here.
Yes.
You have a diffuser.
Yes.
That this is an actual item that they can purchase from the doTERRA website, right?
Absolutely. And
this is just like a little oil burner I had to buy because my daughter was selling for school.
Okay.
We have 3 different oil burners. So if you don't have the oil burners per se, you have a pot, you have a stove, and you can do it that way as well. But I want to demonstrate. Go ahead and dropping that into the actual oil burner so they can see about how much does it really take if you want to wake up in the morning and be rejuvenated or have that energy boost.
Yes.
How many drops am I adding to my oil burner?
Well, if you have an oil burner, you would add about 4 drops, and you would have it to a setting where it's not blazing hot, but it's just enough where it can warm the oil. And then once the oil, you can kind of start sensing the oil, that's when you add the water.
Okay.
So you want to wait to add the water until you start to kind of see a little that it's kind of getting warm.
Okay.
And then you'll add the water at that time.
Now, Shannon, I have a 2-year-old, and you know I'm rushing.
Okay.
I'm never on time for anything. You know I'm not going to stand there and wait for that to warm up.
Yes.
So what if I just have it set even like that night, and I wake up in the next morning and I turn it on? Will it be effective then, or will the scent dissipate?
No, it will be effective because the water and the oil, it doesn't dissipate. It just stays in there. Okay. So that's perfectly fine. You can definitely do that. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Thank you. Now, what about if I'm rushing out, I don't have the time to get my setup. What if I want to add a little essential oil to my hand? And I know I read that you should always use like a carrier oil. How much should I add? Like if I want to just rub it on my hands and go, or put like a little drop on my wrist or my neck or something?
Like, tell me about how you're feeling like right now, and what do you need right now at this point in time?
So I'm very relaxed. I went, you see I have my workout clothes. I'm Planet Fitness member.
Yes.
And I don't have my apron on today. And after I worked out, I was very relaxed. And I wanted to take a nap. I wanted to sleep. This is a new year. It's 2015. I have a great deal of things that I want to do. I need to get my energy up. So what would you recommend?
Peppermint is the best oil to get your energy up.
Okay.
So what you can do really with peppermint, you can just place 1 drop. And you really don't need a carrier oil. A carrier oil a lot of times is when you're putting it on your whole skin.
Yeah.
But with our oils, you can just directly put like 1 drop of peppermint in your hand, and then you can just inhale.
But what if I want to rub it, massage it? I want to put it in my hair. I want, like...
Oh, yes.
So,
this is a carrier oil called apricot kernel.
Okay.
Jojoba is another. It's not an oil. People say jojoba oil, but jojoba is really just jojoba. And so apricot kernel is an example of a carrier oil. So you can do 1 drop and maybe about a teaspoon or so of carrier oil.
Okay. And I know that doTERRA actually sells the coconut oil. Coconut oil is the only thing that I can put in my hair, and it may touch my face and not cause it to break out if my hair comes in contact with my face. Okay. So I love the coconut oil. It's just hard to keep it because, you know, my whole family, we have locks, and so you gave me a lot.
Okay.
You know, I need greased up. That does smell good.
Yeah, the peppermint is really nice. Just 1 drop. The reason why I like the apricot kernel and the sunflower oils is they're very, very light.
Okay.
Now, jojoba and coconut I like for just general. But when you're talking about a bath oil, a very light oil that you want to be light, sunflower and apricot kernel would be the 2 lightest carrier oils, just for all over skincare.
All right. Now, you told me because your son with the skin condition, did you use this type of oil with them as well? For
I used sunflower when he was born, sunflower oil, and then a lot of times with him, I just use the Roman chamomile leaves, the flowers, as well as the lavender. Okay. And then as he got older, 6 months and higher, I may do 1 drop of lavender. So I just kind of experimented to see, because all children and all people are different. So a lot of times it's good to start with like 1 drop. Okay. So it's not about the scent. That 1 drop of oil will go into your pores. The research shows that like 1 drop of peppermint is like 28 cups of tea.
Oh, it is. It is just 1 drop, but it is so invigorating.
Absolutely.
I can really feel that already starting to lift my spirits. 2015, baby.
Absolutely, yes.
Now, this is real serious. When you talk about eczema, it is something that a lot of parents, I have a friend, new baby, and the eczema issue is really causing her distress. She did the allergy testing. She found out her baby, baby can't have eggs. And so she has to be very careful now about any products that she may give the baby if it has eggs. I'm not sure if she said any type of nuts, maybe peanuts as well. But if the baby has a peanut allergy, sunflower seed, have you heard of there being any issue when someone has a peanut allergy?
I have not personally heard, but like you said, as far as doing research, that's why some people may stick with coconut, or they may stick with the jojoba, as far as a general. But that's something that you would always want to research if there are any issues with those different allergies and things of that nature, as far as a carrier oil. But speaking of eczema, I had a wonderful friend. She's known me since I was 16, and she had severe eczema. I mean, all over. I mean, she didn't even like to wear things showing. And we used frankincense and helichrysum for her.
What's the second one?
Helichrysum.
How do you spell that?
I know,
Shannon?
that's a tongue twister, right? But frankincense and helichrysum, she was so funny. I told her to use them with a carrier oil, but she started noticing it working immediately, so she just would dump the bottle And I mean, in a couple of days, it actually started to clear up. And now when I saw her the other day, it's been maybe 4 months. Now she's wearing lower cut shirts. Maybe we'll have her do a testimonial. So that was incredible. Now with babies, a lot of times if people are uncomfortable, you know, putting different things on their skin or having them ingest, for babies you can put it on the bottom of their feet. And that will get into their bloodstream and still help them a lot.
Okay, well that's great. You see all of this wonderful information that Shanna's sharing with you today, but if you would like to schedule your own personal consultation with her, how can everyone get in contact with you?
The best way that you can get in contact with me is through my website, rafiinstitute.org. That's www.raffiinstitute.org. We have our phone number there. And then Facebook, you know, facebook.com/Rafi Institute. So those would be the two best ways to be in touch.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's wonderful. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Shannon is traveling here from Pennsylvania. I will be sad when she leaves because it's my birthday next week and it would have been great for her to be here for my birthday. But I am happy that she shared the time that she could with us today. If you have any additional questions, I will post her information at the bottom of the link as well. But please contact her directly. She has some great treatments that will be beneficial for you and your family. Right.
Thank you so much for having me, Juanita. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Take care.